two brothers went to attend their grandfather's funeral. Unexpectedly, their grandmother asked them to open mystery boxes at the scene, because before he passed away, their grandfather had instructed that in order to inherit the company, they must each choose a mystery box. Whoever gets more green wooden tokens will be the final winner, and will have the right to become the president of the corporation. Although neither of them understood why their grandfather did this, they still wanted to become the company president, so each of them chose one of the mystery boxes. Before the game began, their grandmother said only one thing: often what determines victory or defeat lies outside the game itself. Just as she finished speaking, the cousin was the first to check his tokens. When he saw that all three were green, he secretly rejoiced, but the man just glanced at his tokens and hurriedly closed the box in panic. Seeing this, the cousin believed he was sure to win, so he placed his watch on the table, saying that if the man revealed green tokens, the watch would be his, but only if the man offered something of equal value as collateral. Hearing this, the man instantly got angry. He said the cousin was gambling, because their grandfather hated gambling most of all, but the cousin replied that this wasn't gambling, it was one of the rules outside the game, as their grandmother mentioned. He even mocked the man for being incompetent and unqualified to fight for the inheritance. The man was not convinced when he heard this. He turned to their grandmother and said this was unfair, but before the grandmother could speak, the cousin mocked the man again. The man became furious. He immediately took off his own watch, saying he was ready to compete with the cousin. Seeing this, the grandmother added another rule. Before this incense stick burns out, the two of you must decide the winner. Otherwise, neither of you will get the inheritance. After saying that, she told them to continue the competition. However, the cousin looked down on the man's watch. He said his own watch was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If the man couldn't produce something of equal value, then he would be considered the loser. At this point, even the man's wife tried to persuade him to give up, but the man explained to his wife the cousin was betting, because he must have red tokens in his box. That's why he was using the luxury watch to pressure him. He wasn't going to fall for it. Even the relatives nearby sided with the cousin, mocking the man as a broke loser. Even the uncle, who always cared for the man, told him to give up. After all, he couldn't win against the cousin. Looking at the cousin's arrogant face, the man refused to back down. He directly put up his only car as collateral. Then he urged the cousin, "Can we open the boxes now?" But the cousin wanted to defeat the man thoroughly and wasn't planning to let him off. He knew the man had limited assets, so he made another bet and had someone bring $1 million in cash. The man and his wife were dumbfounded when they saw this. Unexpectedly, the cousin's father stepped forward to object, saying that money was for a construction project and he didn't agree to let his son gamble with it. But the cousin was confident he would win and said it was just pocket change, telling his father not to worry, then arrogantly asked the man, "Still going on?" It was only then that the man realized the cousin was setting a trap for him. He knew the man had no money and was forcing him into a corner. Seeing the man silent, the cousin told him to sign a waiver for the inheritance and kneel to apologize. Then he'd let him go. When the man refused, the cousin gave him no mercy. Even the relatives who liked to flatter the powerful told the man to kneel and apologize. Just as the man didn't know what to do, his wife directly put up the keys to their new house. The man immediately understood what his wife meant, but his mother stood up and objected. She didn't want her son to go on, but the man ignored his mother's objection and insisted on continuing. Even the grandmother couldn't stand watching anymore. If this went on, the man would lose everything. So she told him to apologize to the cousin and keep his property, but the man felt very wronged. All these years, his family had always been oppressed by the cousin. He insulted his family and even hired people to beat him. This time, he would not back down again. He must fight for his family's dignity. After saying that, he declared his bet was $200,000 higher than the cousin's. If the cousin wanted to continue, he had to match it. Otherwise, he would be the loser. But the cousin scoffed at a mere $200,000. He was about to bet his villa. But, unexpectedly, he forgot to bring the keys. Just when he thought he was done for, his wife showed up just in time to save him. But the woman was still a bit worried. If her husband lost, they would become completely broke. But the cousin confidently declared he would win. He even showed his wife the color of his wooden tokens. Seeing this, the wife bet the villa keys and added her Mercedes-Benz. At this point, the man was still short $2.6 million. If he couldn't make it up, he would completely lose. Even everything on the table would belong to the cousin. Just as everyone was mocking that the man would lose miserably, the man made a phone call and borrowed $2.6 million. According to the agreement, the two could now open their boxes. But when the man opened his box, everyone was shocked.